Hey everyone, I am back to make another update to my Crit Flicker Strike Berserker. I think after this update video, I'll probably not make an update video for a little while, just because at this point I'm pretty much starting endgame, and I'm not going to be seeing too many changes in the build at this point. But now it's day 3 of League. I just hit level 91. At this point, my tree is pretty filled out with basically everything I need. I made some modifications to the original tree. As mentioned, I picked up Warrior's Blood, and I also spec'd all the way into Vitality Void. I found that the extra 1.2% attack damage leech makes quite a difference in also helping kind of mitigate that bleed damage. I still, for some reason, don't understand why, but occasionally I sometimes take a pretty significant amount of bleed damage. I'll just move for a little bit and my life will just dip down really fast. But most of the time, it goes down pretty darn slow and it's barely even noticeable. So it's still kind of weird. I'm not sure why that's happening. I'm guessing that's just bleed from normal enemies and not the bleed I inflicted on myself. I'm assuming that's what it is. So just to kind of help mitigate that, I've just picked up this Vitality Void, and it seems to help quite a bit. My life is still not really great. It's only 5.2k, but I will say that I've been pretty much barely dying at all. I mean, this build is just hitting these monsters like so fucking hard. Everything is just pretty much dying instantly. I mean, my tooltip right now, well, a lot of my gems are still level 1 because I just flipped them. But my tooltip for my Flicker Strike was at about 50k. And I think with all my buffs up and all my flasks up, it sits at about like 120k just on this tooltip. So it's pretty nice. I think, well, I've also got some, upgraded all my flasks, and I have the good trio here, the Lion's Roar, Azuri's Promise, and Taste of Hate. So that added quite a bit of damage. I upgraded my helm. I have a Flicker Strike enchant helm now, and I just bought the base and I just crafted this up. One interesting thing to note is at this point with the accuracy changes, you basically you shouldn't ever really need Resolute Technique or hits can't be evaded. Because if you just get a little bit of accuracy on your gear, you pretty much have a 100% chance to crit, or chance to hit. So I have 98% on my first weapon and 99% on my second weapon. So that pretty much frees up another affix slot on the multi-mod once I get to that point. So that's super nice. So I won't need to craft hits can't be evaded. And you really should never need Resolute Technique. Basically, you should, if you're doing a non-crit build, you should pretty much always be taking Elemental Overload. Resolute Technique seems, if you just get a little bit of accuracy, Resolute Technique just seems useless now with the accuracy changes. So I have like 400 here on my helmet, and then the 200 here on Blade Master is basically enough to pretty much be capped on hit chance. At least for me it is. So I'm pretty much not worrying about that at this point. Some other things, I ended up getting a Lore Weave. I think I purchased this for a little over an Exalt. I think I paid like 110 Chaos for this. I have pretty much been shoving all my currency into trying to 6-link this now, and so far no luck, so that's a bit annoying. But I'm hoping to switch out this chest for the Lore Weave. This is a pretty good endgame option. Lore Weave is still insanely strong, especially for this build. If you can just manage to get a high fizz roll, a high crit, and a decent Ellie roll, I mean, it's pretty darn good. This one's decent. The Ellie roll kind of sucks, but the fizz roll is good. The crit roll is perfect. And the life is whatever, but definitely a good option for an endgame chest. The other option is just to go an Elder Astral Plate with Maim, with implicit crit. That would probably, I'm assuming, be better than a Lore Weave, but it would have to be pretty darn good. It'd have to have flat life, percent life, Maim, the crit roll, which is pretty hard to get, and that's a very endgame chest. So I decided to stick to a Lore Weave, so I'm just trying to 6-link that right now. I ended up finding this sword. This is about a 330 PDPS Corsair sword with 6.3 crit and just the base attack speed of 1.55. So I decided to switch that out for one of my Scavas, the offhand Scava. So I barely better, but it's still pretty good. At this point, I'm kind of starting endgame. Unfortunately, my Elder is being a piece of shit, and it's just like kind of right here in these low-level maps, and I just can't manage to get it into a T11, which I need to do. And it's just not working out for me, so that's super fucking annoying. So I think I'm just gonna wait until it like resets or whatever. I honestly don't know. I did the Arachnidest, and then I did a plateau. I pushed Shaper out of these two, and then it went all the way back to like freaking waterways. So it's like I'm just pretty annoyed by that. So and I don't want to do any red maps because I don't want to fuck my don't really want to mess my Atlas up. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and it's honestly a little bit irritating. But that is pretty much how the build is going. I will say that basically the only thing I've been dying to is the rare Legion mobs still. And it seems like that's basically the only thing anyone else is dying to, is just the rare Legion mobs. So I've actually been kind of avoiding the Legion mechanic just to not die. If I do decide to do the Legion mechanic, I basically have a kind of like a method of doing it, and I guess I'll show you guys here. So what I'll do is I'll where's that? Oh, I think I popped it, or I think I might have. Basically what I do is oh no, it's still here. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll flicker through all the packs, and right before the monsters come to life, I'll just pop my Berserk. I'll pop all my flasks, and that seems to keep me alive pretty well. So this is basically kind of what I do here. So timer's about to go off, hit that, hit that, hit that, and then I just go Berserk and go apeshit. Yeah, so that's kind of how I've been handling these monoliths. It's still honestly a little sketch. You've seen some of Ziz's and like Rise QT's rips. You could still easily get one shot, so I still kind of try to avoid it. But like if right now I just leveled up, I guess I'll occasionally do a little bit of it. But yeah, so that's kind of how I've been going about doing the Legion mechanic. And yeah, I think I'm going to wrap up the video there. If you guys have any more questions about the build, just let me know. Again, you do have to have Red Trail, you have to have a Golden Rule, and you have to have the Hatred Conversion Watcher's Eye. Unfortunately, this jewel now is up to like 2.5 to 3 exalts. So I got very lucky, and I think I probably sniped one of the first ones for like 45 chaos. So I got pretty lucky in getting this early on. I've also found like 3 or 4 exalts already, and it's only day 3 of the league. So I've ultimately been pretty lucky with my currency drops and just getting some of the gear that I've needed. At this point, I just need to 6-link this lore weave, and after that, I am just going to, oh wow, level 99. And at this point, I'm just going to start working on crafting up foils. That's basically going to be my next step, is to pretty much just get a really nice multi-modded jeweled foil. Or 2 of them. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Again, if you guys have any questions or comments, just leave them down below, and I'll kind of try to answer them throughout the day and throughout the next few days. I think I'll probably make another update video, probably a little later now. I'll probably wait about 5 to 7 days at the point where I actually have some significant changes. Anyways, guys, see you on the next video.